Neil Ratner Rockdock here with a Sunday story. So, early August 1976, my friend Peter Watts was found dead at his home in London from an apparent heroin overdose. Now, Peter, as many in this crazy business, couldn't control his demons, and in the end they got him. I don't want to dwell on his death, but I want to tell you a little bit about the Peter Watts that I knew. All right, so Peter had a long history in the music business, starting as a road manager for the very popular English band called the Pretty Things. Now, their manager, Brian Morrison, also did some booking for the Pink Floyd, and it wasn't long before Peter took over as both road manager and sound engineer for the Floyd. Now, I met Peter in 1972 after I had moved to London to be tour manager for Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Peter was recently divorced at the time and, strangely enough, had married an old girlfriend of mine from the University of Vermont named Putty Watts. Now, both Peter and I were into rock and roll production, and we started to spend a lot of time together. I mean, I really liked Peter. He was a cool guy. He was kind of a short guy, but he had this real English, dry sense of humor. Drove a little Austin Mini. It was one of the first times I was in one of those cars. At any rate, he was a cool dude, and we started to spend time. He had been married and had two young children, Ben and Naomi, and he even introduced me to his ex-wife, Miv, who had been a costume and set designer. And of course, Miv and I hit it off and even spent a little time together, but that's another story. And the Naomi Watts, turned out to be quite the good actress. Peter, getting back to Peter, was an absolute sound genius. I have to admit, though, most of what he talked about technically, I barely understood. But the sound he created behind the board every night was magical. I think Peter was the first person to ever talk to me about creating what he called and what we called quadraphonic sound in big live concerts. I mean, think about it. Back in the early 70s, the idea of putting speakers all around a venue was really unheard of, especially in like an open-air stadium. How are you going to put speakers way up on top, way in the back? I mean, it seemed technically impossible. And even if we could get the speakers in the right places, I wasn't at all sure how good it would sound. But Peter was undeterred. Let's just listen to a little Floyd while I'm talking. And what better than brain damage?
The lunatic is on the grass.
You're going to hear Peter in this song. We'll talk about that.
Remembering games and days and chains of glass. Got to keep the lunas on the path.
So, Peter was really the one to convince me to go ahead with my idea of an all-in-one production company. And it was Peter who found me the best technical people out there to partner with. So, it was not at all surprising when it came to me about joining forces for the Dark Side of the Moon tour. That was really the first time I sat with him at the board and watched him mix a concert. And man, sitting right next to him, watching him do the dials and stuff, a true master at work. So we did the Dark Side of the Moon tour, and then things had worked out so good, we kept the equipment that we had assembled His equipment from the Floyd, my equipment from the company. We kept it together. He went out and solicited us more business. We did the 3 Dog Night T-Rex tour together. Oh, that's Peter. That's Peter laughing. That crazy laughter you hear in this and Speak to Me. That's my friend Peter.
You make the change. You rearrange me till I'm
So at any rate, we did that 3 Dog Night T-Rex tour. And then Peter might have done a tour or 2 after that. I was busy getting out of the business. And then I left to try and become a doctor, which of course I did. Peter continued on. I was busy, he was busy, and we lost touch. When the Floyd stopped touring, I heard he went out with Ted Nugent and a few other acts, and Peter and I never reconnected before his untimely death. But I remember him fondly, and I owe him a debt of gratitude for his friendship. And of course, his work remains. That crazy laughter remains. Here it comes. R.I.P. my friend Peter Watts. Okay, that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. Neo Ratner Rock Doc. Have a great day, and I will see you all very soon. Big finish. Sorry about that. Okay, have a great day and see you soon.